Righty, welcome back to Uncle Brett's Shed where we carry on with this front end rebuild. Now it's Sunday, the last day of my holiday, and I didn't get near nowhere what I wanted to get done on this. Instead of pushing bushes in and getting the job done, I've been over prepping stuff and took the control arms back to bare metal and etch primed them, painted them. I had a lot of trouble getting the bushes out. I'll show you a picture. I was trying to punch them out with a chisel, then not the actual bush in the lower control arm, but the outer shell, because they were in there from original, and they were real thick and heavy duty. So I ended up trying to weld a washer on the end and then punch them out from the other side. That didn't work. So I ended up getting a die grinder and grinding a slot in it and then wedging a screwdriver in there and peeling them out that way. But we got them out and then, got them all painted up, hanging there. Same with the rods that come off of those and go towards the front. I've painted them silver as well. I'm just clear coating them at the moment. Totally wasting me time, but makes you sort of feel good, doesn't it? And I've just literally pushed the bush onto the pin, so now I can push that, not pushing on here but pushing on the bush itself on this bit, push that into those lower control arms. All right, you probably don't need to see me do that because I reckon I'll show you last time. Yeah, so I'll get those bottom arms done. It's not going to happen tonight, but this is going to happen during the week. Get those bottom arms done in, all tightened up, and then I'll finish off those top arms, put the ball joint in. I'll probably put the ball joint in once it's in the car. It's a lot easier to put the socket on. And I scored a heap of tools the other day, and guess what? I got a brand new upper ball joint socket, and I don't think it's even been used. So that's what happens when you know good people. Now Sunday, I didn't get nothing done that I wanted to because I was prepping these all day. So it's Tuesday today, and I've literally just bolted that arm back into the lower control arm. So now I need to have a tidy up under here, and then I'll attempt to push these in. Also literally just painted those washers. That's some fast drying paint there, so that shouldn't take too long. Alright, let's clean this up. About to vacuum the rubbish out of the rail there. Got stones, bits of the old bush, obviously road grime and whatnot. So we'll get that cleaned up. Slip them bottom arms in. Right, so I've double checked up there, make sure that's not full of crud. Got me half me bush on. I've put never sees on that pin, never sees in there, and never sees on that rear of that torsion bar. Now someone picked up when I was pulling these out, old Tavo Garage, I think, Tavo AU, I think he calls himself. I'll put a little picture up here in a minute. He's a YouTube influencer as well, very particular on information of different models of Valance. So if you want to know more about the intricacies of Aussie Valance, go follow him for sure. He told me that I should have been able to pull these out instead of wrestling that torsion bar out of here. He said I could have pushed this whole thing back and then lifted it off of the torsion bar. Now it's possible on this side, other side the steering box would have failed me anyway. So I'm going to try to put it back the way he suggested to pull it out. And hopefully we can all learn together here. The other thing is too, I've got to make sure you get the orientation of this around right, because if that's wrong and we put it all together, yeah, we're not going to be able to jack it up to its correct height or lower it. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to put it sort of in parallel with the arm itself. We'll see how that goes. I don't know, it's just as easy putting that in without putting the torsion bar in first, if that makes sense. Seems on about the right angle. Down there like that. Yeah, I think we've got that right, so we keep that pivot thing parallel with the bottom arm. Hold that up whilst I put my front bush on and tighten my main lower control arm. I've wired that lower control arm up just to square up this front bush. So I'll put this bush together now and sort of snug the nut up a little bit. And same with that rear pivot there. Wash a nut onto there. I'll just grease that inner and outside. Make sure the inner bush is central. Yes, it is. Grease. Washer. Nut. Oh, that bottom hose is painful. Now I can tighten these bushes up because they're not rubber, so I can fully tighten these and tension these up, yeah, without any issues. So I'll do that now off camera. Alrighty, it's literally a week later. Can't remember where I was at, but I've ended up stripping the hubs, give them a wire wheel, found some new ball joints that I had in stock, along with a full set of tie rods. I'm a bit dubious about using them because, you know, Chondonesium versus the dirty old originals, which are still quite firm and tight. So we'll give them a go. If they, you know, like I said, doesn't get driven much, so we'll see how they go. If they play up, I'm going to put the old ones back in. So, ended up getting those lower arms all in. The torsion rods are in. Got the upper control arms in. They're roughly set to where they originally were. Obviously, the ball joint, top ball joint's already in this side. And when I had my frantic cleanup, I actually swept up the little spring clip that goes in the rear of the torsion bar. So I had to dig through the bin and find those because they're all grotty like dirt. Same on this side. That's all in. Everything's tight because it's not rubber, so you can tighten that. Obviously, it's easier to put the ball joint in with the arms on the car. So I'd like to get this top ball joint in and the bare knuckle on here today. See how we go. and might even drop the new shockies in as well. See how we go. So out here, still haven't cleaned up my mess, but I've scraped off all the crud off of this, and I'm about to wire wheel it. Wire wheel, got a grinder there to clean up the dags on here, and we'll get the coat of black paint. And yeah, clean this up first, paint this so it gets time to dry, and then paint these last. I did also notice that tire arm's bent, so I've got a couple of spares. I'll find one. That side seems to be alright. And I did notice the left hand thread, because you've got left and right hand thread, the left hand thread is on the left side of the car, even over there. So I'm assuming when you adjust the toe in, if you want to toe it in, you turn them in both direction, if that makes sense, just to not confuse whoever's doing the wheel alignment. Now, that's how it was on this car, and I've checked that old VC over there, and it's the same on that. So that's how it's come back together. Now, just to triple check myself, I'm just checking on the charger. Same thing, left hand outer, left hand thread. Right hand thread on the left inner. Jeez, I'm getting confused. Sound like a Dr. Zeus book. Driver's side, that's right hand thread there, left hand thread there. So left hand thread on the left side. So that's just to clarify that, 3 out of 3, it must be correct. Alright, so that's the bits I already had painted the other day. Just cleaning the other hub. I actually painted the ball joints because they're going to rust. I've just done the back and plate and the caliper bracket. Alright, we'll put the ball joint in the other top in the other side, and we'll put the spindle on. So years ago, when I tried to make a socket, welding square bits of plate together, and it was just real ugly. So I ended up getting this old socket, machined it down in the lathe, and then just got the die grinder in there and cut 4 corners in it, and it does actually work really, really well. But I'm going to use this brand new one I scored and see how that goes. Fits in there. It actually fits tighter in my homemade one. But I have had ball joints that they're not all the same here. Some of them I had to grind down so they fit into the tool. But yeah, no. Let's do it. Another thing, I'm gonna leave that paint in the thread for now. We'll see how tight the ball joint goes in. If it feels like it's gonna be too tight, I'll back it back out, wire wheel the paint out of there, and we'll go again. I'm gonna put some Never Seas on it for a bit of lube to help us. Now, wind's picked up again outside. That's something different for here. No wonder they built windmills down the road. Half the time they're not turning anyway. It's going a bit too easy. God, I screwed that all the way in by hand. Give it a gentle nip. Oh, yeah, it's pretty tight. went in a bit easier than I expected, but it's in there now and it's tight, so good. Right, finally got these two sorted out. I actually straightened the one that had a kink in it. It was sort of kinked where the thread ended. Well, it wasn't really a kink, it was just a real shallow bend. Now, like I said before, your left-hand thread one side, right-hand side the other. So it doesn't matter if I put this on the driver's side or passenger side, likewise. So obviously left thread, left side of the car. Right, I'm bolting these spindles together. I'm just going to show you how it's sort of ridiculous, but it's sort of clever at the same time. Obviously how Chrysler, cut corners to save money, as they did back in the day. So obviously that's your spindle, and that's your caliper bracket. And you can just tell how oddball it is, the different holes that are in it. And when it bolts on here, it's got two bolts at the top, and then that third one that looks like I put it in there. It even has a spacer inside. Yeah, very crudely done, but obviously worked. Still has it's obviously got a Chrysler part number on there, so. But yeah, I'll bolt them together now and put a ball joint on and we'll whack them on. About to bolt this disc shield back on. I've got the ball joints buttoned up, got that tire in, and just realised that bolt hole is going to go through there. So I'm just going to pluck that bolt out again, run it through there, put the two little bolts at the top, and then I'll throw the other side together. Just do that off camera. Righty, it's 1:30 in the morning because it's a lot colder to work. But I'm actually heading inside now. Got all them, everything back together there. Got the shockies in. Now remember what I said in a previous video. Make sure you bleed your shockies before you put them on. Otherwise they'll never work properly. Alrighty, see you tomorrow.